here today at Lorelei's shop, the Whimsical Nook. We are going to tell you all about all the cool things going on. I'm Suzanne Manners. Lorelei, we appreciate you letting us film from your location.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we're excited. It's such a beautiful place, and she's got books of her own in here. A little bit about your collection.
We carry a collection of spiritual books. Most of them are about crystals and the healing energies, and also where they come from. We also have books on traditional astrology, Vedic astrology, and Chinese astrology, and how the moon phases affect all those. We have books in numerology, which is another form of astrology, and we have a few fantasy novels, books on occultism, and many other subjects that are super interesting.
Definitely. This is a cool little shop, and it's also a new place on our downtown read-around. So if you're not familiar with the downtown read-around, the library has a deconstructed picture book from storefront to storefront all through downtown that you can stroll along with your young ones, your little ones, and read a story. So thank you for being part of the downtown read-around.
It's my pleasure.
We're very excited to have you on board with that. Like I said, this shop is located on Main Street, off of Main Street. You'll see the little signs to lead you upstairs and find this magical place. Also, the downtown read-around, it rotates from 10th Street one month, Main Street the next. So for the month of June, we're actually on 10th Street, but we'll be back here on Main in July.
Correct.
So come by and visit the shop anytime. You know, this is our monthly Tia 2 talk, and we want to thank the Epicurious. I'm curious about that.
Cheers.
Cheers for the hot tea. It's so tasty. Sorry, I got to sip on that. It's so good. It smells delicious. Okay, but anyway, we are here today because you may not know, but the top floor of our library is being renovated, and we're going to have a beautiful new space soon. But because of all the construction noise and the debris and things happening upstairs, we are visiting local businesses, and thank you again for letting us come to see you today.
Anytime.
We have, as I said, mentionable all of the exciting new reads for the month of June, and we want to start off with our film and book series. So it takes place with the film on the first Saturday of the month. That's June 7th at 1 o'clock, and the film that we are going to broadcast live is The Little Prince. And we do have a book of The Little Prince, if you haven't heard about that before. The book is printed or published in 1943. The film version came out in 1974. And I'm learning a lot about this because I found this really cool pop-up version. So this has got some cool little features. But The Little Prince is come from another planet. It's a small planet. It's like they call it a planet, but it's an asteroid. B612, that was his home, and he's landed in the Sahara Desert, where coincidentally a pilot from World War II has had to make an emergency landing in the Sahara Desert, and they meet each other, and so he learns a lot about Earth and things going on in our world. But the pilot comes to understand and appreciate life in new ways with the relationship of the Little Prince. He also meets a fox, and the fox is played by Gene Wilder, and he meets a snake. So those are the main characters of the story. And what's cool, and I just found out when I was looking at the trailer and reading about the film, the snake is portrayed by Bob Fosse, and he choreographs this snake dance with the hip thrust and the jazz hands and the moonwalk. Can't wait to see that. But that was this inspiration to Michael Jackson when he did the choreography for Billie Jean. Remember Billie Jean?
Yes.
I'm sure you know that song. I mean, you maybe sung it before. We like to sing. But anyway, I want to invite you to come out to see the film. Again, first Saturday, June 7th at 1. And then talk about the book with us. The book talk takes place at the branch location out in Trap Hill. The name of the book club is The Reading Trap. We meet at noon, so we'll be meeting on June the 12th to talk about the book. And we always meet at noon so we can have something to eat. and we usually try to find something to eat that relates to our story. So being in the Sahara Desert with a traveler from another planet, I'm not sure what kind of food is going to be on hand here, but we will find something that relates to our story, maybe a royal feast because he's a little prince. So
that sounds great.
Yeah, thank you. We're excited to highlight that today. And now I'd like to, anything else you would like to share today before we move along?
No, thank you for coming over.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And good luck with the movie. And this book is amazing. I have read it twice. I should read it more. But what is so special about this book, and I was excited about knowing that this book was featured, is that this is the first book that my father gave me when I was a child. Then I read it again in high school. I think that was like maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. And I think this book doesn't get old. You can read it as many times as you want, and you will always find a good lesson, something inspiring, and something amazing about the story.
It is definitely a book for all ages.
Yes, it is.
I'm so excited to have it featured as well. And I forgot to mention, the reason why we're featuring it, June, the author's birthday takes place in June.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We that's our little gimmick there. We choose books to celebrate the birthday of the author. So I believe it's June the 29th when Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Saint-Exupéry.
Yes, he's the author of our book. And we'll have a little bit to share about him. He was a pilot himself in real life, and he actually disappeared on a mission. So, he wrote this book before, came out, and later something happened to him. So we'll have to learn more about that. And we'll be talking about that at the book club, too. So
that sounds great.
Thanks for being part of our program today.
Thank you
now
for having me.
Now we're going to bring on Mara Lynn. She's our adult service librarian, and she's got some good things to share with us as well. I would love to, before we get into Mara Lynn's programs, I would love to also invite you out to our community garden. Come on and join me, Mara Lynn. We have, as you may or may not know, again, we have a community garden that we grow over in Cub Creek. And our produce we harvest to share with our community in the fridge. It's a free fridge in the foyer of the main floor of the public library over here. So you can always stop by and get something good to read and something good and healthy to eat. Yes. When the produce comes rolling in, we'll have tomatoes, squash, cucumbers, beans, who knows, other things as well. But to kick that off, we have a book that is written by Sue Stewart Smith, and it's called The Well-Gardened Mind. It's all about the restorative power of nature. And this book is featured with the National Network Library of Medicine's book discussion. We'll be having a conversation about this early in July, so I want to mention it now, give you a chance to look it up. We have it online. Did you order it for us?
Yeah, we've got it through, you can download it through our Libby app. So you can do that. And we have the audiobook too.
So is it downloadable as ebook and audio? Yep. Okay. Yep. And then if you're a volunteer with our garden program, I'd love to give you a book of your own to keep and read and share. But we do have some that we can borrow from the library. If you want to check one out, check it out. It's a very interesting book. It includes aspects of gardening and how nature helps restore your soul, but it also brings in literature and other ways that you may relate to. So check this book out. Alrighty.
Yeah, and volunteer to help at the community garden.
We need the volunteers. Yeah, Thank you.
Yeah, it's over at Cub Creek, and
I'll be glad to give you the tour and all the idea of how to do what we do there. But we look for folks that can stop by to water on these hot summer days that we don't want to wilt and dry up our garden. So we need to keep it watered regularly and a little weeding, and then a little harvesting.
Yeah, and also we've got a seed library on the right inside the front door of the library. So you're welcome to come and see what's in there. We have wonderful ag extension. They help run that garden, and they keep us supplied. So we do our best to provide what the community needs, and
that's right.
A garden is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, if you have a garden and you have books, what else do you need?
Oh, I don't know.
Cats? Maybe. You're a dog person.
Dogs. Yeah. soda pop.
Well, they do say gardening and books go together, and I feel that's true. It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
So good.
And plus we have, if you've got a dilemma while you're trying to raise your garden, we've got all the books that can help you tackle your dilemmas. And so your garden's healthy and strong. And so we've got all those books.
Definitely.
Yeah. So come check them out.
Definitely. Now we're going to change gears and talk about some of your stories and things that
Okay,
you're
well,
featuring.
before we leave World War II, don't forget to mention
Oh, yeah.
the reading trap is tackling President Truman.
Truman is our July selection. I definitely want to mention him as well. I know we're talking about what we're reading and discussing in the month of June, but you see, this is a pretty thick book. Don't let that intimidate you. It's very interesting. You don't have to completely read it either. I do feel like, though, if once you pick it up, you want to read on, because Truman is an amazing person. So his biography is going to be featured in July. We'll bring his back and tell you a little bit more about that next month. Thank you.
Well, and David McCullough, he has a way of, he's a natural historian. He is a really gifted speaker. We've got a book about his commencement speeches that he's given during his lifetime. But he's also a storyteller. He
is, and Truman was around during the end of the war of World War II times. So the Little Prince landing, the pilot landing in the desert during World War II, Truman, and we have some more.
So that's a World War II story. The Little Prince is sort of a World War II story. I'm going to jump ahead. In June, our Talking Service Book Club, and we have a little logo for it, but we're going to talk about a story that's in their Standing Down book, and I forgot to grab one. But Standing Down is a book that I can give you a copy of, and you can read. There's 44 articles in that book, and we're going to read a World War II story that Ernie Pyle wrote. And what Ernie Pyle did, he was a very favored, embedded reporter in World War II, and he liked to talk about, he liked to relay back home to the Americans back home what the Americans overseas were seeing and doing, feeling, and he tried to come meet everybody in the middle and experience war for all the parents and the brothers and the sisters and everybody back home. So he was, and the troops loved him, and the folks back in America loved him, and so we're going to read 14 pages of story about Ernie Pyle in World War II. Then in July, sometimes our Talking Service Book Club will tackle a book. Back in February, we read Soldier's Heart by Gary Paulson. And now we're going to read The Bomber Mafia. And this Malcolm Gladwell, you know, he's also a nonfiction writer. But he can tell stories too. Definitely. And he found a story about how the Air Force kind of got started. It started as a part of the Army, then it branched off and became its own military service branch. But anyway, Malcolm Gladwell found out about how the confluence of new technology that happened as a result of World War I, and then those years in between, while Hitler was accelerating there over in Germany, his agenda, then the Army was trying to say, well, we don't need airplanes so much. But of course we did. Right. But he said there were two generals, and the two generals and President Truman are the ones who decided that it would be better to cut the war short if we could in the Pacific Theater. And so this is how they were able to bomb with accuracy. Wow. So they found out how to do that. And it started out with a shadow box. It's amazing. It's a cool story. It's only a couple 100 pages long. And so we're going to read this and talk about it in July.
Well, tell us when exactly your meetings are.
Okay. So we've got, June 13th.
June 13th. Okay. Yeah. And it follows
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th.
And then we've met, since we meet on Fridays, it's happened several times.
Oh, no.
But we'll try to shake off the bad luck. And then in July, we'll meet on Friday, July 11th. So that I've tried to get copies of the books in to come check out because it's a book and because we got a holiday in there in between.
Right.
And we've got 2 important military holidays. And
we have Memorial Day. That's finishing up the month of May with Memorial Day, and then we'll be into June.
And then Independence Day comes after that.
And
tell what else happens in June.
In June is the Army's birthday.
Yeah.
June the 14th, if I'm not mistaken.
Where's those little things?
Well, I do have some interesting things to share. We have been promoting our collectible trading cards with library recommended reads, with comic book day. These are the veteran trading cards. I think we may have shared them last time as well. These are actually Vietnam veterans. The back side has a QR code which will scan on your phone and take you to the archive to read the stories that we've put together. So you want to pick up some trading cards. But yeah, this is a great project. Marlyn and I have been working together with veterans to document their history in these keepsake print volumes, Volume 1 and Volume 2. And I promise you, Volume 3 is almost here.
Yeah, Volume 3 is complete.
It should be in our hands within a matter of days. You'll definitely want to check it out and collect it. We'll probably have a package deal if you haven't purchased anything before to get the set. But all the proceeds that we raise go back to help publish more editions. Yeah. Basically, we do this to give them away to our veterans that participate, so they'll have a keepsake to share with their family and their friends. We also give them to our schools, our local schools and the community college. So we have them in our collection. You can borrow them, but if you'd like to own some of them, we do have some copies available.
Yeah, and you're not going to miss out on the stories if you just go to our homepage. That's wilkeslibrary.org and look for a box that says Veterans History Project.
Yes, and these are beautifully done. So they're
gorgeous.
really nice collectibles. Just want to share that, and kind of goes along with your Rhodes Scholar talk as well.
Yeah. Now, not only this, but let's see, what's the date on that? June the.
I have it written down here.
Oh, I
June
know.
the 10th. You're right.
Okay, so on June the 10th at 1 o'clock, we participated in a Rhodes Scholar lecture series this summer that they offered because they are turning 50 years old, and they offered public libraries the chance to have some of these wonderful lectures, and they are live with their experts on the screen, talking fast, and I mean, it's so interesting, and they focus on historical topics, but also travel. So Rhodes Scholar's famous for travel, and it's a wonderful way to see the world in a different light. So they're going to talk about Normandy. They're going to talk about D-Day and honoring all the efforts that happened on D-Day. So that's what's going to be on June the 10th. It'll be just an hour, so show up at 1 o'clock and stay with us for an hour. And there's another World War II related, very important story.
Yeah, there's so many good stories. And it's kind of unique how they all kind of relate and connect together.
Yeah, yeah. And Rhodes Scholar, also, you can go to, it's ROAD Scholar,
SCHOLAR.
LAR, and it's .org, because if you go to .net, it's something else entirely.
Okay.
.net and .com or something else.
Okay.
But .org, but it's a nonprofit that focused on travel in the old days when they called it elder hostels.
And if you can't really take the trip, you can always pick up a book or visit us for this live stream, and it's like an armchair travel.
Evidently. So
Yeah.
Very good stuff.
Yeah.
And it's very low cost or no cost. It's both. Okay, so let's see. Where are we going from here? We got Library Book Club for June. Okay, now June is very fun because Library Book Club and our participation in NC Reads 2025, they kind of come together.
Oh, yeah.
So, and guess what the topic is?
Oh, yeah.
This is the coolest
Excited.
thing. It's Doc.
Old Doc Watson.
Yes. So a brand new book has come out about Doc Watson. This one's, the subtitle is A Life in Music. So it focuses on his music. There are other books that focus on other parts of his life. And Eddie Huffman is the author. He interviewed, and I've already heard him say that this book would have been a whole lot thicker, but the publisher said focus on an element that needed more focus, and so it's the music.
Yep.
And but he collected so many great stories about Doc, and he's one of our community's definite favorites.
Definitely. With our Merle Fest and all the music we share here, I'm really excited about that book.
So we've got two times we're going to talk about this book, and I've got plenty of copies. On Tuesday, the book club is going to meet at its regular time, and we're going to talk about it on June 17th at 4 o'clock. That's on our Tuesday. Then the following week is the NC Live presentation. NC Reads presentation.
Right, NC Reads.
Where they talk with the author, and we're going to be live with the author for that at 6 o'clock on Tuesday the 24th of June.
And so NC Reads is actually a program that the North Carolina Humanities Council puts together, and all the books that they feature relate to things happening in our state, but it's coming local to our neck of the woods in June.
So it's been so much fun this year because the Rhodes Scholar Program took us all around the world, and the NC Reads program highlights all this. And North Carolina is so cool because we've had stories about Charlotte, but we've also had stories about the swamps of the eastern part of the state, things you wouldn't know, and that involved Native American stories. And then now we're moving on, and we've got Doc to cover the mountains, and
I love it.
Eddie Huffman is he knows what he's doing, and he's very interesting, and so we'll kind of combine a little bit of the music. So we're gonna
be awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing all that with us. We have summer reading on the way, and that also kicks off June 7th with a big festival, a mestival. The kids like to make a mess and get out there with their artwork, and they do all kinds of cool things. Tie-dye is a big favorite thing in the summer months. But the kids' festival happens in...
I don't know about you, but sometimes adults can be messy.
Right, we like it. It's creativity. It's how you...
Well, there you go.
Make things. But that's going to be taking place on the Yak and Valley Marketplace down behind the...
Well, kind of behind us.
Yeah, kind of behind
the
shop.
there.
Yeah, down outside in the afternoon of June the 7th. I think it will fit in. You may have time to visit us for the Little Prince and then head over to the Mestival and get yourself registered. And it's not just for children, but adults as well.
Right.
Although I do have a couple of really cute books to share. Here's one you can hold for me.
Okay.
The other one as well. This is Mouse's First Summer. And what's that?
And this is a Cynthia Ryland. If you've never, she's North Carolina. And Summer Party.
We got tons of fun things happening. We're going to be partying away at the summer. But these are so beautiful. I love the pictures. You know, adults can get into reading with the kids.
Oh, yeah. You
can read with your little ones, even if they aren't reading themselves yet. That counts. But you have a program geared for adults.
For adults. We've just got some challenges. We've got nine squares on a little cube, and we're trying to ask you to do some different kinds of reading that maybe you haven't tried yet. And we're also inviting you to come to any program all summer long, because if you don't know that the library hosts all these great adventures that are right there, right in our wheelhouse.
Definitely.
So show up and enjoy one of those. And then... and we also count all the time that adults read to children. That counts on your adult reading time too.
Yeah, we're trying to break a record. We need all of y'all to help us with that.
That's right.
Read through the summer months, and especially important for the young ones because they're taking a break from school. They've been working on their reading skills in their early years, and you don't want to let them slip away.
That's right.
Keep it going all summer and come back strong for the new school year. But have fun reading. You don't have to read your assignments. Read some fun stuff. You can read anything, actually. What else I want to mention was Imagination Cafe. Right. That was you were on your head, right?
Yeah.
Imagination Cafe is going through the months of June and July. And,
starts June the 9th.
June the 9th, right?
High noon Is it noon?
Noon o'clock.
Noon o'clock.
But we want to feed the children. You know, during the school year, a lot of children are able to access meals through the school system, or this, the school meals. But school hunger doesn't go on vacation when school is out. So we want to make sure you get well fed and have a good meal and have something good to read. So you want to, physically get something good to eat, but feed your mind as well. Yeah. Stop by the library at 12 o'clock, June through July, starting June the 9th.
Yeah. You got to get there between 12 and 1. Mm-hmm. And you got plenty of time on either side of that. Plus, there might be some fun programming
That's there. Right. You can come a little early and check out some books and stay for a good meal and then follow up with a nice program. Yeah. It's a great way to spend the summer with your kids. Yeah. And don't forget about the downtown read around, right? There's a lot of things.
Well, and don't forget to stop by Lorelei's shop here. We're in the Whimsical Nook. This place is really fun. So come explore.
Definitely. And thank you again for checking in with us, and share this with everyone that you know. We look forward to meeting and seeing you.
Yes.